And now to test my teleportation pods. Oh, damn! Ah, I'm a monster!
Yeah, in this video, Stewie Griffin is truly a wicked little monster. Come join me as we dive into this unforgettable episodes. Number 1. Stewie takes down an entire family in Season 9, Episode 7. In this holiday-themed episode, we witness just how crazed Stewie can get when he goes after a whole family on Christmas Eve. It all starts when Brian reluctantly agrees to take Stewie to the mall.
And I want a Charles in Charge lunchbox, and I want a Magnadoodle, and a new Uno game on the Cause I Lost the Draw 2 card, and I want a pet animal that's half chinchilla and half mink, because it'd be really soft, and I could call it Chink, and that's okay.
They end up waiting for 2 hours to see Santa, only for the jolly old man to turn them away because his shift is over. I mean, even Santa needs a break to eat and rest, right?
Wait, what are you doing? Santa? You can't leave now!
Hey, wait, buddy, we've been in line for like 2 hours.
Sorry, I'm done. You want your kid to sit on my lap? Meet me at the bar at Applebee's.
Stewie grumbles, calling Santa a bastard who turned his back on me, like reality turning its back on Gary Busey.
How am I doing today, Gary Busey? You're doing great! Good! Then I'll keep it up!
Naturally, Stewie vows to kill Santa and forces Brian to drive him all the way to the North Pole. Brian tries to trick Stewie by taking him to a Santa-themed festival.
Small?
But Stewie isn't fooled, not after spotting a teen guy with a very questionable choice of fashion.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Y'all's ready to kick it in some fine North Pole gear?
Brian, why does the North Pole have black teenagers?
From Katrina?
Ah, of course. All right.
Stewie insists on going to the North Pole, but Brian refuses, citing the dangerous journey ahead. The reasoning seems pretty straightforward. Brian doesn't want to break the news that Santa isn't real, fearing it will crush Stewie's tiny heart.
Because there's no such... Because when you get there, you may find out it isn't what you thought it was, and I wouldn't want you to be disappointed.
But Stewie's realization is profound. His bad luck is due to his Eeyore-like attitude. Ouch, Stewie.
Come on, Eeyore, let's go play.
I don't feel like it.
Why are you always in such a bad mood?
I have a nail in my anus.
Oh.
Stewie ditches Brian and hitchhikes with a truck driver to Canada, forcing Brian to chase after him.
So, what are we hauling, good buddy?
Oh, I got a flock of birds that were too tired to fly back north.
Boy, this is the way to do it, huh, Jerry?
Sure is. Think this makes us lazy?
Nah, we're still in the V shape.
Things spiral out of control when Stewie accidentally shoots off a flare gun in the truck, causing a massive crash.
What is this? This is a weird gun.
Yeah, don't touch that.
Oh, it's a flare gun.
Maybe you should put that back.
I'm just holding it. Is this the trigger?
Trapped in the wreckage, they get help from a friendly passerby who offers them his snowmobile.
Really? You just give it to us? Oh, sure, that's what Canadian hospitality is all about. If you like, you can have all my money and my leg.
Okay.
The Canadians truly are too nice for this world. Stewie doesn't hesitate to take full advantage of the hospitality.
Why'd we take his leg?
Well, we're in their country, Brian. We have to observe their customs. Oh dear. Well, at least we're done with the first leg of our journey, Brian.
Ha!
Damn right, huh?
3 hours into their journey, the snowmobile runs out of gas, leaving them stranded and panicked. Until, like a Christmas miracle, a heavenly figure named David appears and guides them to a nearby hunting cabin.
Thanks, David. Guess there are a few stars in the sky tonight.
Come on now.
Okay, we'll leave you alone.
Brian's first instinct is to call Lois and update her, but Stewie has already planned to prank him.
Hey, Lois, would you make an appointment for me to be neutered in 2 days?
But are you sure, Brian?
Yes, I'm sure. And whatever I say in 2 days, do not let me convince you that I've changed my mind.
Wow, you sound pretty serious about this, Brian.
The next morning, Stewie is thrilled to have found Santa's home, but upon entering, it's clear this isn't the magical toy workshop he expected. It looks more like Bridgeport, Connecticut, which earned Family Guy a hilarious letter of complaint from the residents.
Who the hell do you think you are? I'll have you know that Bridgeport is among the world leaders in abandoned buildings, shattered glass, boarded up windows, wild dogs, and gas stations without pumps. So eat my Jew writers.
Then, Santa himself appears, looking like a shell of his former self.
Do it. Please, put me out of my misery.
You want me to kill you?
Come on! What are you waiting for? Pull the trigger!
Well, there isn't a great deal of sport in that.
Turns out Santa's worn out from the exploding demand for high-end toys, and the elves have mutated from toxic exposure and inbreeding just to keep up. The reindeer, monster-sized carnivorous beasts.
Then the reindeer eat them, which has turned the reindeer into wild, feral creatures with a bloodlust for elf flesh.
After attempting to sing a heartbreaking song about his suffering, Santa collapses from exhaustion.
Christmas time is killing us.
With Santa bedridden, Brian and Stewie take on the noble task of delivering presents.
We'll make sure there's a Christmas this year.
Thank you, Brian. That brings me peace in this hour. I'll be with Allah soon.
What?
He doesn't know what he's saying. He's delirious.
Stewie is excited to drive the reindeer-powered sleigh, but first he has to figure out how to control them. Guess what? He uses one of the elf's severed arms as bait to trigger the reindeer. Classic Stewie move.
Okay. Bye.
And we're just getting started, folks. Buckle up for the terrifying ride ahead.
Hey, Brian, look. That one reindeer just kind of pooped in the other reindeer's face, and the other reindeer just kind of ate it. Isn't Christmas magical?
They crash land on a roof, but miraculously, they're okay. However, things take a dark turn when they start arguing about Brian breaking the rules while delivering gifts. He even sneaks into the kitchen for food, getting caught by the homeowner.
Brian, knock it off!
Oh, man.
You jackass!
Hey, who the hell are you?
Hello?
What are you doing in my house?
We're Santa Claus.
The homeowner, understandably furious, calls the cops. But Stewie, always ready for mayhem, isn't having any of it.
What the hell did you do?
He was gonna call the cops, man! You can't call the cops on Santa! Now help me move this guy's body.
The scene gets so grisly that I had to make it black and white for your safety. Stewie's violence escalates when he sees the man is still alive and decides to finish the job. It's brutal.
Duh, he's still alive! Alright, tie him up. I'm gonna make it look like a burglary.
When the man's wife discovers the carnage, Stewie doesn't hesitate to knock her out too. No mercy.
Quick, Stewie, get the bat!
Help! Help! Mommy!
It's okay. Brian, see if you can find some duct tape.
However, he shows some restraint by sparing their daughter. When the cops arrive, Stewie and Brian manage to escape, leaving the reindeer to eat each other in a grotesque frenzy. The next morning, everyone discovers they didn't receive any presents.
What? Oh my God.
Joe, did you get any Christmas presents?
No!
Me neither. I got 8 mediocre things.
In a final desperate attempt to salvage Christmas, Brian and Stewie put a sickly Santa on TV to plead with the world to lower their toy demands, limiting each person to just one gift.
I can. One gift is okay.
I can live with it.
Okay, just one. But if it's a gym membership, somebody's getting punched in the face.
Surprisingly, the world agrees, and by the next year, Santa is back on his feet and the elves are rejuvenated, ready to deliver presents to all. Number 2, Stewie has a baby in season 13, episode 12. After Brian turns down an invitation to grab some gluten-free food, Stewie feels the sting of rejection and starts to notice that Brian has been growing increasingly distant. He confides in Rupert, lamenting how they used to be inseparable, like Jack and Jill.
So then Jack takes these 2 pails of water and trips and totally falls down the hill.
Yeah. Hey, I got a funny story. Jill had a tooth fall out and she swallowed it, and then we had to root through her feces to find it.
You know, Jack was the type who'd roast Jill's teasing with savage comebacks.
And we did. And then we took it to the dentist and he put it back in her mouth. So I guess we're both klutzes, huh? Why don't you spin another tale, crap tooth? No? My turn again? Okay. Jill's barren.
That afternoon, when Brian coldly drives off without Stewie, leaving him sulking, Stewie has an epiphany. Watching Susie joyfully play with her parents, Stewie concocts a wild idea.
Having a baby seems to have made them closer. Babies save relationships.
Whoa, look at you, you're flying. Okay, thanks, Bunny. Next I want to ride a bike.
I know, having a baby will save my relationship with Brian, Stewie declares excitedly to Rupert, calling it the best idea he's had since robbing a Joseph A. bank.
3 suits for 99 bucks? Take me to jail.
Sure, Stewie, robbing a bank for overpriced suits definitely sounds like a genius move. That evening, Stewie prepares a small dinner to present his baby-making proposal to Brian, only to be met with indifference.
We should talk about having a... This isn't fun for me, watching you text.
No, this is great. Yum. But I gotta go. I have a date.
Brian is completely distracted, and Stewie realizes something must be done, so he decides to collect Brian's DNA and create the perfect plan to tie him down forever. Soon we'll be proud parents, just like Ron Livingston's parents.
You know, our son's a famous actor.
Really? What's his name?
He's,
He was like the main guy in Office Space.
yeah. What else? He has dark hair.
Who are proud of him, but somehow forget his name every year at Thanksgiving. Classic Ron.
Ugh, what is his name? What is his name? Is your son Ron Livingston?
Yes.
Oh, God, thank God.
Ron Livingston. Thank you. That has been bugging me all day.
Stewie builds a fertility device, because who doesn't have one of those lying around, and uses Brian's DNA to kick off the creation of his own little bundle of joy.
First, I add Brian's hair and saliva and some preschool applications because we are already way behind. There.
He's so excited, he even forces Rupert to watch the entire process like it's some kind of documentary.
Goodbye, body. You're gonna watch me get pregnant. I want to look at you when it happens. Yeah, you watch me, bitch.
After a brief wait, the machine successfully implants Stewie's future baby, and the next morning, Stewie presents Brian with a pregnancy test showing 2 lines.
I think you mean, what have we done? What? Brian, we're pregnant. Oh my God! And in 18 years, he's going to move away.
Surprise. Brian is floored and understandably skeptical. You did what? How is this even possible? He asks.
Oh my God, you're serious. People are gonna think I had sex with a male baby and then got him pregnant.
Oh, thank you for finding a way to make it sound horrible.
As Stewie starts planning baby names and diaper changes before Brian can even process the madness unfolding.
Ooh.
Is it dead?
You hit me! What kind of monster hits a pregnant toddler? If you ever lay a finger on me again, I'll burn you in your bed.
Could you do that now, please?
The baby starts growing rapidly, and in just 2 days, Stewie's belly is so big, it's like he's 6 months pregnant.
Oh, my back is killing me.
And I've also been experiencing a little
morning sickness. It's for the baby. It's for the baby.
He demands that Brian take him to the doctor for a pregnancy checkup.
You look ridiculous like that.
Not too ridiculous for you to put a baby in me.
The scene at the hospital is pure comedy gold, especially when Dr. Hartman asks Stewie how old he is.
13? 14? 15. But he didn't force himself on me. I wanted it too.
Well, that's the important thing.
As if it couldn't get weirder, the ultrasound reveals 2 testicles and a stick.
Your vagina seems to have a penis and 2 testicles.
Oh, right. I sneezed real hard and all that came out.
Stewie's deadpan explanation of his extra parts leaves Brian trying to stifle his laughter while simultaneously wishing he could throw Stewie down a flight of stairs.
Now, Brian, did you have any questions for the doctor?
Yeah, are there a lot of stairs in this building?
The hilarity continues as Stewie forces Brian to take maternity photos to commemorate this beautiful moment, resulting in some truly unforgettable and pretty ridiculous pictures.
Baby.
Next, they head to a baby store where Stewie gets furious after a woman dares to ask his age.
How old are you?
How old are you? You look like you're 40, which means whatever you've got in there is 100% brain damaged.
All right, you have a good day.
I hated that lady.
Apparently, being an adult baby doesn't come with the respect Stewie feels he deserves. Things take a turn when Stewie's water breaks while they're out and about, and they don't make it to the hospital in time. Instead, Stewie gives birth right there in the car, a scene that is nothing short of traumatizing.
Oh God! Oh God, it's coming! Oh, can you see the head? I don't know where to look, but maybe you should look at the part of me where there's a baby coming out. Oh, How did Murphy Brown make this look so easy?
Stewie gives birth from every possible orifice, and to top it off, he has a placenta and demands Brian keep it so he can eat it. Because why wouldn't you want to keep a placenta as a snack? Truly horrifying.
What is happening? I don't know. Brian, save the placenta. Do you even have a placenta? Whatever comes out, save it. I want to eat it. Oh, God, they're crawling all over me. How many are there now? 4, 5, 6, 7? Mazel tov.
Back home with 7 half-dog, half-human babies, Stewie and Brian start off excited, trying to care for their new little family.
There you go. Oh, Dick really likes you.
I like Dick.
Aha, you like Dick. His name's not Dick, you idiot. It's Finn.
But as they take the kids to the park, it quickly becomes clear that the babies have issues. Some are blind, others are deaf, and things just keep getting worse.
I think that one is blind. We'll have to get him little sunglasses.
Right, because dog head human ears over here doesn't react to anything I say.
Hey you.
Stewie and Brian argue about parenting, completely ignoring the kids, and one baby tragically drowns in the pond.
We are going to be spending a fortune on schools.
How are we going to pay for that?
Well, you tell me. You're the one who insisted I be a stay-at-home mom.
I don't even have a job.
Well, you better get one, and not writing. A real job.
After a few more days, their baby count dwindles to 4, and they're both exhausted and overwhelmed.
Stewie, this is awful. I don't know why anyone would want to be a parent, especially to 4 children.
4? I thought we were down to 5.
Yeah, the deaf one didn't hear Joe's lawnmower.
Oh, that's really upsetting.
Eventually, they come to an understanding and decide to take the surviving babies to an animal shelter, hoping someone might adopt them. Honestly, it's probably the most responsible thing they've done all episode. Stewie keeps the baby shower gifts as mementos of this insane experience.
Oh, now this makes it real. Oh my goodness, that's enough cake for you, Mary Beth.
After everything Stewie's done in this episode, I think he might deserve a one-way ticket to hell. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Number 3. Stewie throws a fit of jealousy in Season 4, Episode 8. Lois has a special task for Meg in this episode. She wants her to babysit Stewie while she's out. Meg, however, is not thrilled. She finds the whole thing boring and tedious, and even yells at Stewie when he asks for food.
Meg, I'm hungry! What's this? What's going on? Am I talking to myself up there?
Oh my God, Stewie, just shut up and go to bed!
Do you know what I do, Meg? I spit in your mouth while you sleep.
When Lois returns, Meg suggests hiring a babysitter, which Stewie immediately hates. He's terrible at getting to know new people, kind of like his disastrous experience on Blind Date.
You ready to go grab some za?
Yeah.
So, a wild guess here, but from the looks of your arm hair, I'm guessing you're Italian?
The next day, a chaotic interview session takes place at the Griffin house, featuring a character that seems straight out of the Herculoids animated series, basically a shape-shifting blob.
The position has been filled. Thank you very much. You can go now. Leave now!
Then, 2 homeless guys from Portugal who are obsessed with babysitting show up, but Stewie promptly turns them down.
A gente é ótima com os meninos.
We couldn't run an ad that said no Portuguese, but, no Portuguese.
Lois and Stewie are both worn out, realizing that finding a decent babysitter is harder than they thought. Just when they're about to give up, in walks a beautiful blonde girl, LaDawn. Stewie freezes for a full 5 seconds, mesmerized by her, and the excitement he feels is reminiscent of the time Brian took him to see Les Miserables.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. There will be a slight change in the cast tonight.
Oh, no.
For this evening's performance, the role of Jean Valjean will be played by Kirk Cameron.
Oh!
There has been a change, and the role of Jean Valjean will now be played by Kirk Cameron, much to Stewie's delight.
Oh, unbelievable! Oh my God, how lucky are we, huh? Hey Stewie, what are you doing tonight? Oh, nothing, just watching Kirk Cameron play Jean Valjean. Oh my God, curtain up!
Stewie gets super prepared for his first meeting with LaDawn. He sprinkles himself with perfume and practices his smooth talking in front of the mirror to boost his confidence.
Oh, just me, Stewie. Just being myself. Yeah. Well, this here? Oh, it's just my package. Yeah, just my package. God delivered it, I signed for it. The world keeps on spinning.
Playing with LaDawn is like a dream come true for Stewie, and he promises himself not to make any social blunders like he did at Pamela and Tommy Lee's party.
Hi, sorry I'm late. I was visiting my aunt in the hospital. She has hepatitis. Ooh, sorry.
The next day, Lois shares some great news with Stewie. Tonight, his parents are going out to the movies, and LaDawn will be babysitting. Stewie's pumped, thinking, tonight, I'll be cooler than Brian at the bowling alley.
That's what I love about high school girls. I keep getting older, they stay the same age. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
But just when he's all set for a perfect evening, LaDawn throws a wrench in his plans by bringing her boyfriend Jeremy along.
Girlfriend? What kind of sick, twisted game are you playing at?
Stewie sounds a little cranky. I'll put him to bed.
Ha! I got your hat! Take that, hatless! Now go back to the quad and resume your hacky sack tourney!
Stewie loses his mind when he finds out, going on a full rant, even though Jeremy and LaDawn have no clue what's going on.
Good night, Stewie.
If he wants to throw hands, I'll throw hands. I tell you,
The next evening, Stewie picks a DVD of Jiminy Glick's first season to watch with LaDawn.
Colin Farrell. So I was talking to my wife Dixie the other day, and she was saying that you weren't a very good actor, and I agreed with her. Now why, Colin? Why would we both say that?
But when he heads downstairs, he finds LaDawn making out with Jeremy. Stewie is not happy and declares that Jeremy is going down.
All right, that's it. Jeremy must be destroyed.
When Jeremy opens the door and can't turn on the lights, he calls for Mom and Dad, but gets nothing but Stewie's eerie presence.
Dad? Mom? Is anyone there? Little man? You in here?
Seizing the opportunity, Stewie grabs a golf club and breaks Jeremy's leg. No idea how he did it, but the next thing you know, Jeremy is tied up and stuffed in the trunk of a car.
Here's your iPod so you can listen to the streaks while you gasp for air. The strokes, right.
The next day, Stewie acts like nothing happened, calmly chatting with LaDawn. When she cries because Jeremy hasn't called her, Stewie takes advantage of the situation to comfort her.
Oh, come here. Let me just hold you for a while.
Stewie, no! That is a bad place to touch. No.
However, LaDawn isn't having any of it and forbids Stewie from touching her where he shouldn't. This sparks Stewie's anger, and he vows to see her fired. The little schemer even says, I thought we could go down the road together and die like Hitler and Eva Braun. Charming, right?
You got your poison? Okay, 1, 2, 3. You didn't do it!
You didn't do it either!
Okay, alright, well this time we really have to do it. Okay, alright, you ready? Okay.
In reality, both of them are equally terrible, neither willing to drink the poison furs.
1, 2...
You want me to kill myself and you're not going to! You suck! You suck!
You suck!
The next day, Stewie distracts LaDawn and shoots her with a dart laced with tranquilizers, knocking her out cold.
What's that on your neck?
He then stages a scene where it looks like LaDawn had been drinking and using substances, neglecting her duties as a babysitter.
Oh, thank God you're here, Lois. It was all her friends. They were doing marijuana and heroin. And they were taking eczema and touching each other.
His plan works perfectly. LaDawn gets fired just as Stewie intended.
LaDawn, wake up this instant.
What? I don't...
You know what? Don't bother, LaDawn. You are fired.
What has Stewie done? He's just a kid, but when it comes to devious plots, he's outsmarting even the most seasoned adults. Sure, he eventually regrets his actions, but I'm pretty sure LaDawn and many viewers won't forgive him anytime soon for his cold-hearted manipulation in this episode.
This is for you.
She made me a mixtape? Oh dear God, what have I done? I've made a terrible mistake. LaDawn!
Number 4. Stewie creates a clone in Season 8, Episode 6. In this hilarious episode, Stewie wants to take Brian to a toy store, but Brian insists they'll only go on Tuesday. So naturally, Stewie asks his assistant to rearrange the schedule for him.
I'm kind of tired.
Oh, for God's sake, cancel my Tuesday appointments.
Sure thing, Stewie. You want me to move it to another day?
No, just cancel it.
Okay, will do.
The twist: a sudden appearance of a Stewie clone leaves Brian utterly confused. Because, you know, it's not every day you bump into a miniature version of your best friend.
Who the hell was that? There was another Stewie right there.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I've been so damn busy lately. My schedule's been so packed. I felt like I needed some kind of an errand boy to do all my nitpicky, pain-in-the-ass stuff. So I cloned myself.
Stewie, being the busy mastermind he is, creates a less intelligent clone of himself to help him with mundane tasks. And of course, the cherry on top is the amazing name Stewie gives to this clone.
I call him Bitch Stewie. Would you like to meet him? Would you like to meet Bitch Stewie?
Yeah, I guess.
It's genius, really. The clone's care routine is a breeze. Just feed him peanut butter flavored oatmeal. Healthy, right?
It's not much, but it's healthier than what people ate in the 50s.
Steak and donut sandwich, please.
You want cigarettes on that sandwich?
What do I look like, a Mary? Yes, I want cigarettes.
The next morning, Brian walks into a rather awkward situation. He enters the bathroom to find Stewie's clone giving the original Stewie a bath, together, in the same tub.
We had a little bit of a problem earlier because Bitch Stewie was stooling in the tub, wasn't he? I did some poos, I didn't mean to. But we've rectified that now and everything's fine.
Yikes. Brian's clearly uncomfortable, but Stewie couldn't care less. Oh, you think that's weird? My clone can do way more than that, Stewie proudly declares.
Look at me. I'm George Bernard Shaw.
That's awful funny, Stewie. I don't know who George Bernard Shaw is, but you look like an old Stewie.
Sure, Stewie's clone may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but at least he's loyal. He's there to defend Stewie when he does something embarrassing.
Enjoy your weird bath.
I told him I did the poos, even though you did the poos, Stewie. Did I do good, Stewie? That was very correct of you, Bitch Stewie. You're a good helper.
Later that afternoon, Brian is shocked to find Stewie at home instead of attending Stalling's birthday party. When asked why, Stewie casually reveals, "I don't like that guy, so I sent my clone instead." The kicker? Lois doesn't even notice the difference. She's totally fooled by the clone's slightly off-kilter face.
Oh no, it's not on his tail, it's on his face. I've ruined it. Oh no, well that's okay though. Somebody else will come along and get it right.
Stalling too thanks the clone for showing up, completely oblivious to the fact that he's speaking to a lesser Stewie. Hard to believe, huh?
Wanna watch me blow out the candles?
I would love to see that. And gosh, Bobby, I'd love to play with some of your birthday toys, but only after you've played with them and only if you say it's okay.
Brian gets curious and asks Stewie to make a clone of himself. Stewie agrees, but on one very odd condition. Brian has to pet his tail for Stewie's amusement.
Lightly grip the base of your tail with your index finger and your thumb, and then slide your fingers up the length of your tail to the tip.
Why?
Because that's what I asked you to do.
It's kind of weird.
Yep, the little mastermind just had to bring out his inner diva. In the end, Brian goes along with it, which makes Stewie incredibly pleased.
Give me a little smile. Your lips look a little dry. Why don't you wet them a little bit? Oh my God! You're so weird!
The next day, Stewie proudly introduces Brian to his clone, named hilariously because of course it's a joke.
Brian, meet Bitch Brian. Hi, Brian. You got some stuff you want me to do for you?
But there's a catch. Stewie didn't make a direct Brian clone, and predictably, the clone is not exactly the sharpest tool in the box. He's a bit dim.
I'll be honest with you, Brian. Here's what happened. I didn't really want to do the work, so Bitch Stewie sort of did it. Hey, Stewie, how'd the clone turn out?
Brian, I can't go to the bathroom by myself. Will you please help me? But I'm good at other stuff.
The following day, Brian's clone hands him a charm it made just for him.
Brian, I didn't know if you wanted a God's eye, but I made you one.
Okay, thank you. Did you wash my car like I asked?
No, but I hit it with a rock.
Okay, thanks.
But there's a twist. It falls apart, and soon Brian's clone starts falling apart physically too.
Brian, I think my jaw is falling off.
Not to be outdone, Stewie's clone begins shedding parts as well. The clones are literally falling apart at the seams.
Hey, Stewie, everything sounds like rushing water, and I can't stand up so very good. Yeah, I figure they've got less than a minute before they dissolve completely.
But even as they disintegrate, Stewie just watches, showing zero sympathy for his creation.
Hey, Brian, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Well, I hope that doesn't happen to me.
Meanwhile, Brian, ever the dog, is contemplating whether to eat the mess that's left behind. Classic canine behavior.
He took my dry cleaning, and I have no idea what he did with the ticket.
Yeah, this was not a fruitful endeavor.
I'm not proud of this, but I need to lick that up.
Number 5. Changing his own genes in Season 18, Episode 15. In this wild episode, Stewie helps Brian crack the code to escape from an escape room. But when they get back home, Brian completely brushes off Stewie's help.
Oh, did you think you were the only smart baby in this family? Chris and Meg were just as smart as you were. But once a Griffin hits puberty, they turn into a full-blown bozo.
To justify himself, Brian argues that as Griffin kids grow up, they'll end up as Bozo the Clown, or as Stewie prefers to call it, Bozo the Tax Accountant.
Well, the good news is, since you do a sex advice podcast, which I really like, by the way, every time it's a write-off.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
The clown continuously made funny sounds, leading the girl to think he was joking with her.
And not just also... and even...
Are you kidding me?
Do I look like I'm kidding?
In a panic at the thought of becoming a bozo himself, Stewie decides to create a gene-altering device called Josh. Brian, understandably, thinks this is completely nuts, but Stewie, ever the logical mastermind, counters with a brilliant argument. Gene modification is real, just like how James Taylor redefined rock and roll.
Hello, Martha's Vineyard. Are you ready to watch me play guitar on a stool?
Yes, thank you.
No, thank you. Now here's a song that's basically directions to Boston.
And so, the chaos begins. Stewie is determined to go ahead with his gene-altering experiment, no matter how crazy it sounds. Brian tries to stop him, but Stewie's already setting the device up.
Stewie, I'm serious. Messing around with your DNA could have dire consequences. Haven't you ever seen the movie Splice?
Yeah, no, and take that Citizen Kane tone out of your voice. It's Splice.
Once Stewie tweaks the settings, he steps into the machine, but first he sings a heartfelt song to honor his old body, because obviously, changing your DNA needs a little musical tribute, right?
And as our lives change, come whatever.
Do you want me to leave?
Shut up! I timed it to go off when I... We will still be friends forever. Thanks a lot, Dick.
The first transformation turns Stewie into a regular, ordinary toddler. And guess what? This new Stewie is a hyperactive, tantrum-throwing nightmare.
Oh my god. I think taking out that DNA turned you into a regular baby. Ha! Should've watched Splice, bro.
On a flight to Lois's cousin's wedding, baby Stewie really puts Brian through the ringer.
Brian face! Brian face!
Yep.
Brian face!
Only a few more now. Okay, alright. Gotta be getting tired soon.
After smacking and kicking Brian in the face repeatedly, Stewie finally tires himself out and falls asleep, only for the peace to be shattered when baby Stewie wakes up and throws up all over Brian while he's trying to impress women. Classic Stewie.
They have very little control in their lives, so the key, and I mean key, is to make them an active participant in these decisions. And once you do that, you'll see a big difference.
At the wedding, Brian's assigned to babysit baby Stewie, and the punishment continues.
Poo-poo! No, we do not touch poo-poo in this family. We do not touch poo-poo. No. Hands up. That's it. Now there's no bubbles later.
Yes, bubbles!
No bubbles. You lost the bubbles.
Unable to take it anymore, Brian tries to reprogram the device to turn Stewie back to normal. But instead, he accidentally turns Stewie into Thor. Yes, you heard that right. The Norse god of thunder.
Would you like to add a Hemsworth haircut? No. Are you sure? Yes. Really? Yes. Would you like to first see a photo of what you're turning down? No. Too bad.
Brian, in a fit of rage, slams the control panel, and this leads to a series of increasingly bizarre transformations. At one point, Stewie becomes so deformed that even Brian is like, okay, I think I need a break. Maybe I should watch Splice. But why is Peter the lead?
This is Peter Griffin's penis video, take 1.
Oh my god!
What do you think, bud? There's a Q&A with the cast afterwards.
Despite all his efforts, Brian can't seem to fix Stewie. Instead, he manages to turn Stewie into a version with no upper body. Yep, just legs.
Hello?
Stewie?
Brian, is my mouth in my butt?
Yeah, my mouth's in my butt. You've got to fix this!
It's like a nightmare version of the man without a face. After several more failed attempts, Brian finally turns Stewie back to normal. But oops, he accidentally hits the wrong button and transforms Stewie into a terrifying, monstrous creature. Naturally, Brian panics and runs out of the room, thinking he can fix it later. It's like he's trying to handle Stewie the way Sylvester Stallone handles his mornings. He needs help too.
So what are we thinking this morning?
I like a big face, big fat face with a goatee with little tiny eyes.
Okay. And what about for your body?
Yeah, veins, all kinds of veins everywhere, like little rivers everywhere.
Brian then goes to Chris for help, showing him the chaos Stewie caused in his room. But of course, Chris is no help whatsoever. He's just a big idiot.
Chris? It's been 3 hours. Any updates?
You don't want to be in here, dude.
Desperate, Brian tries to bring Rupert into the mix, hoping the stuffed bear will have some magic touch to return Stewie to normal, but no such luck. This leads to a particularly funny situation when a North Korean general calls Stewie, and Brian is forced to answer.
Stewie! No Stewie. Stewie! No Stewie.
Brian, is Stewie in there?
Stewie! No Stewie!
The chaos and confusion just spiral out of control as everyone searches for Stewie at the same time, leaving Brian in a completely awkward situation.
Hi, Brian. I got a trampoline.
Stewie! No Stewie!
Fat guys go high. I don't know how to stop.
Let me in. Where's Stewie?
Stewie! No Stewie!
Is this my forever?
At the critical moment, Brian comes up with a genius idea. What if he could just go back in time and fix everything?
Oh, there he is. Wish me luck, Flat Stanley.
Or you could just call me Stanley, not make fun of my body.
So he travels back to when Stewie was first setting up the gene-altering machine and explains that the clip about Chris that Stewie saw was just edited.
I played it in reverse. He wasn't solving one, he was eating one.
However, to make everything right again, Stewie demands that Brian flush his past self down the toilet.
Hey, Stewie.
It's classic Stewie manipulation at its finest. The twist? Stewie isn't done tormenting Brian and makes another outrageous request.
You're supposed to be drowning your future self. You came back, you're the new timeline. Oh, come on! Do it, just do it! Yes, this is right.
Stewie really knows how to play me, doesn't he? You get what I mean, right?